Okay, so I have another 3-game series and another peak rating. This time it's 835, although I went down 2 points somehow. Don't worry about it. Now, I already know my own rating because, duh, so I can't do guess the ELO or whatever, but I can do guess the game type label for these to make this a little bit more interesting. Just put some, you know. I think that the first game was going to be something that chess.com calls a smooth game. And I think the other two are giveaways because I'm pretty sure both of these have one player at an advantage and then that player blunders checkmate. So, of course, for right now, I can only record one game because I still am not a premium member on chess.com. Now, this time my opponent is from Ecuador. I don't know what the chess scene there is like. Oh, this first game's also 54 moves, but a bunch of those are stupid. So let's start. Game review says sudden. It says sudden. I was wrong. Okay. I don't know what the difference between sudden and giveaway. I think sudden must be it drops off from a neutral position. Giveaway is it drops from a winning position to winning for the other player. Also, at the end of each of these game reviews, there's a new feature. I don't know if it's actually a new feature. I just didn't notice it before. It'll tell you, or it'll tell me, actually. I'll tell you. Chess.com will estimate your rating based on only the game that you're looking at after the game review, which is kind of cool, I think. No, maybe I should go over here. Now I'm not blocking what the coach is saying. Yeah. So, e4, e5 is a normal opening. Knights come out, and then this. The bishop is ready to be developed. And this is apparently just the king's pawn opening, king's knight variation, comma, 2 knight c6. Which I guess I have a 67% win rate with? No idea. No idea how that happened. Right, so we're out of book now. The bishop can go the other way after a bunch of effort was spent getting the bishop out the other way. Now we've got a fianchetto on the board. I throw in this check because ooga booga. It's blocked and I back up. My idea here is, well, I've seen this be a thing that can happen, you know, and then it's annoying because now your knight is perpetually pinned or something, yada yada yada. That's not what happens. The bishop is setting up for a discovered attack, except it would be a discovered trade. Also, I'm like right on the edge of the frame now. I can lean off the camera. That I gotta figure out a good recording setup for these chess videos at some point. Castle. This is a mistake. Threatens to kick a knight. Yeah. However, stop defending the pawn. That's what happened. And I saw that at the time. I forgot what the point of this move was at the when I was looking at it just now, but I was also distracted by my recording setup. So yeah, gives up defense of the pawn. Now I'm also attacking this. Now I'm also attacking this, except that's defended by that, so I'm not actually attacking it. Also, these are both defended by the knight. Anyway, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, I'm attacking the queen. And my knight's defended. So there's that. Right, so this is a great move. I captured a vulnerable bishop, yada yada yada. Not taking the knight back at all means that I'm way up in material. In fact, I still have all of my pieces. This bishop is attacking a defended pawn for absolutely no reason. And I'm taking another knight and basically forcing you to to finally take one of my pieces. I mean, you could move out of check, but there's no point in doing that. The reason that I gave up that knight, you know, is now there's a gaping hole in this defensive wall of pawns. So the thing that seemed like it was being set up of castling this way is a bit more flawed than it was before. That was my plan. Now I finally take the pawn in the center of the board that was attacked ages ago. Interesting move. Instead of taking the pawn back, attack my bishop. But this was something that I expected a while ago. So I sacrifice the knight and take the second pawn with check. The knight does end up blocking, although it's on a different square than I was expecting. This bishop is now defended. Not that I was attacking it. That bishop's just there. Check. And my opponent drops back to block the check, allowing castles to still happen, because, you know, he hasn't moved his king. So, it's at this point that I run out of ideas and simply shove a pawn forward 2 spaces. Castles, my bishop is ready for development, and, in fact, can attack the rook immediately. Perhaps I was not out of ideas. I don't know if I actually expected him to do that. Anyway, interesting move. Simply counterattack one of my bishops. The problem with that is that, for one thing, rook for bishop, that's a good trade for whoever gave up the bishop. You know, a rook is worth 2 more pawns than a bishop is. The other problem is that when you take back with the queen, you stop defending this knight, and you were attacking that bishop, so I had to move it anyway. So, yes, I did give up a pawn. That's true. Defending this pawn was apparently not the best move. It wanted me to just get the pawn out of the way. The next thing that happens is that this queen comes out, which is absurd, and gives up a bishop. So, yes, I just moved my queen here to defend this pawn, but a pawn is worth less than a bishop, so good trade, good trade. Giving a check, because, I mean, I have a queen and bishop on my opponent's side of the board. I suspected there was some kind of checkmate available. Not quite. This is just targeting an escape square. Oh, hey, it's me. It's the Itsuki of the future. I forgot that I was attacking the rook. I was not guarding an escape square. That's insane. I was attacking the rook. That's why the rook moves away. Anyway, this is not the direction that my pawns move, so I can't do that capture, you know? This is an actual credible threat. This is an attack, but I'm also up 10 points of material. So, I defend the pawn anyway. Queen slides over. And, yeah, you've noticed the problem by now, and if you haven't, I guess I'll spell it out for you. As you can see, my advantage is quantified as -13. Negative just means black is winning. 13, I'm winning by 13.4. Now I'm winning by 42.1, because that hangs a queen. That... Taking back with the pawn was a fascinating move. Now, Stockfish here says forced checkmate in 8 moves. We're gonna watch that, just for the entertainment value. Interesting. Yep. Cool. You know, it's crazy how few of those moves were actually checks. Like, that's how little my opponent can do. It's checkmate in 8 without even forcing checks the whole time. It's not even checking my opponent. However, right? I played d3, just because I do figure another queen could be helpful. My opponent goes there, and I keep going on over here, and... You know, my opponent's shoving this pawn forward. I don't know what the plan exactly is. But, you know why I played this move? I will tell you exactly why I played this move. I wanted to check if my opponent knew about en passant. That's not what they played. I literally just wanted to check if my opponent would take the pawn that way. Because at this point, I didn't have the engine open. I'm not cheating at the game. You can tell because... I mean, it says mate in 5, but... Like, when my opponent gives up a queen for absolutely nothing, well, for a bishop, I figure this is the point in time in the game where I get to mess around. And part of messing around is this knowledge check. Another part of it, of course, is that I put my pawn forward in order to defend this square. Now, that's not how that works. But if you'll notice something... The evaluation simply drops from checkmate in 3 to checkmate in 16. I gave up a queen as a prank. As a prank. And I still have forced checkmate. Forced checkmate. Finally, I take that pawn, and the rook takes back, obviously. Apparently, I no longer have forced checkmate after taking the pawn. But it comes back in 7 with the rook gone. Or with the rook here. The rook's not gone. What am I talking about? Anyway, I make a bishop because I thought it would be funny. This attacks the pawn anyway, right? King g4 loses a pawn. I'm taking this pawn, which was my plan. And, it's defended. So now I am pushing the other passed pawn that I have. Apparently, this allows checkmate in 9. I'm no longer going to pay attention to that. The rest of these moves were me trolling. This was me trying to trade his rook away. Rook goes out of danger. Check. Check. Just, pushing pawn further, and then losing that pawn, but, now we have a rook trade. Okay, so, pawn, rook. Enemy has pawn and king, and, there's plenty of time left in the game, so that pawn comes forward. Check, defended by the rook. That's a good move. So I spent some time developing my other pawn. I kind of expected him to take this pawn. He didn't take this pawn, which once that pawn was not taken, it's getting away. It's getting away from you. So I made another rook. And somehow making another rook has removed my forced checkmate. Curious move. Not exactly what the position demanded. I mean, if he goes this way, it's actual checkmate. But I guess if he goes this way, you know, not so much. I want to see what move Stockfish is actually claiming isn't a checkmate here. Yeah, and what is happening? How? Huh? Anyway, for some reason that doesn't register as a checkmate threat. But what I did was I moved my rook over here, and then that's a forced move because my king blocks off this square. And now my rooks are defending each other. Now the reason I did that is because I want to make another rook. And then I played this move, and that's forced. And the point of that was that now the board is funny and symmetrical. I moved my king to the same row just to make the checkmate pattern symmetrical. Anyway, Stockfish, based on this game, thinks that I'm 1300, and I don't know whether that factors in the trolling in the endgame, but I'm just going to assume that it does. But yeah, I accepted the rematch. Unfortunately, now I have to analyze a game that I lost. On the bright side, I brought a coping strategy. This joke is brought to you by Dare. Looks like we were both complete boneheads in this game. 54% accuracy, 58.5. Sharp, so I was wrong. A very dynamic game. White has the advantage for the entire thing. And then just drops off a cliff. Okay, chess.com. Whatever you say. Now, I had the honor of the first move, and thus I played e5. This is apparently the Philidor defense. I don't know what that means. My plan with this little pawn move here is presumably to... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I think it's foreshadowing for when I pick up the Ponziani opening. Here comes the enemy bishop to stop me from going here. However, I'm supporting my push in the center, which turns out fine. This is an inaccuracy, I guess. Cool. Great. That's a sensible reply. Now I take more pawns. This misses a better way to recapture a piece. Presumably the bishop. Yeah. I'm just attacking this knight because I didn't think there was anywhere good for it to go. No attempt whatsoever to defend said knight, and I guess I didn't take it. Now, in my defense, I had a vague concern about this pawn, even though it's defended. Now, the root of that concern is the fact that I have still not memorized the anti-queen h4 lines. That's not h4, that's h4. The queen h5. I'm really good at chess. So I attack a knight that was already under attack. Apparently, this lets the opponent capture a bishop to win material. The fact that I'm actually lined up for that is astounding. I take the knight, because the whole plan was to take the knight. This also exposes an attack on the bishop. Of course, that's a trade now, which is less good for me. Or is it? I don't know. Anyway, bishop blocks the check. Castle's prepared. I moved here to attack the queen, I guess. Queen drop back. Now I am attacking the pinned bishop, because that seems like a good idea. Castling unpins the bishop, which means this is not hanging. I went that way with an attack on this pawn that's defended, so really cool, really cool. Although, you know, potential future ideas. My knight gets took. I took the bishop. I suppose this move accomplishes wasting a turn. Yeah, that's what that move does. Okay, look, this is old footage. I know what I see what I know what I should have done. Don't worry about it. And this is me attempting a prank. It doesn't work. Huh. Mate in 6. See, this is why I thought this game would be classified as a giveaway, because I was convinced that I had a win here. This was even the next thing that I did. This threatens to kick a queen. Mate in 6 has become mate in 5. That's a forced move. And I'm not sure what was I supposed to do next. Let's see. Let's find out. Really, not even giving a check. Great, cool. Yeah, see, the thing about these checkmate sequences is that you can put mate on the evaluation bar. I will not find it if one of the moves isn't check, because that's insane. Anyway, I give a stupid check. It's defended by the bishop, and take this pawn because, you know, vague ideas of that's not checkmate. So rook. Now I can do this and this, because now that rook's not in the way, he went that way, you know. And now the problem is that borderline everything is defended. Take the pawn. This overlooks a better way to reveal an attack on the queen. Now, if I was, you know, thinking as an actual normal chess game here, I'm up 3 points of material. The biggest threat is the enemy queen. I should absolutely have just done that. I 100% should have just done this. There's no excuse for me not to have done this. I didn't do this. I gave a check with the knight, which, you know, delaying tactic. That's also the first move in the checkmate, I guess. This evades the check from the knight. There was a faster way to win, so this just doesn't disrupt what I... This simply does not disrupt my plans. And actually, that evades the check from the rook. I took that rook. Why did I... Yeah, so, right. So, in this position, the bishop is guarding those two squares. The pawn is defending the knight. the knight is actually blocking this, and this pawn is in the king's way. So the king can't escape from this this little zone here, and I have a queen here. I really should have known. I really should have found out that that was checkmate. I mean, I had 6 minutes to contemplate this position. I had 6 minutes to contemplate this position. How much time did I spend? 6 seconds. I spent 6 seconds losing my queen. Yeah, so somehow I am still at an advantage here until I do this move, which completely gave up a knight that did not get taken. And now giving check was not the way to go. Apparently I missed an opportunity to fork pieces. I don't know what chess.com is on about. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, as you can see, I've completely lost everything because my queen is gone. Which amounts to only 1 point of material difference, I guess, somehow. But yeah, I was kind of out of ideas and annoyed at the fact that that pawn can't be taken, by the way. I, at this point, thought, okay, you know, there's still kind of a chance of me doing something. Like, I have all these pawns pushed forward here. His extra stuff is kind of boxed in. Like, he's not using all of his stuff. He's not using all his pieces. I can maybe mount some kind of attack. And so I just went into desperate aggro mode and completely ignored what he was doing. Which... King B1 is not a desperate aggro move. That was probably just me trying to avoid check of some sort. Anyway, there goes that pawn. I'm trying to set something up here, and I forgot that this was, I forgot that that bishop was there. Great move. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, chess.com thinks that we're both 500 for this game. This was a travesty, and it tied the series 1-1. So, I mean, obviously I had to play this same opponent again, right? You can't end the series on a tie. And fortunately, they went for the rematch button, and thus there is one more game for us to look at. Final game has me on the, what? The black side of the 37% accuracy. Wait, that's not the right game. What? No, that's the right game. Okay, yep, I have the black pieces. I'm actually insane. Aha! A brilliant move! We don't have to worry about the 37.6% accuracy if I have a brilliant move. So, the opening was what we call a, Taylor opening. I don't know what that means. I'm attacking this here pawn. That does technically defend the pawn. This allows me to kick a knight. Presumably with this move, I just moved a bishop for fun. Interesting. Yeah, that hangs a pawn. That didn't accomplish anything. And now my knight is on this square. So, you know, pretty good setup that we've got here. That bishop retreats to where it started for actually no reason. I just castled, which is not the best move, but I figured maybe don't do anything particularly stupid right this second. B3 is a mistake. This ignores an opportunity to kick a knight, presumably that pawn move, and allows the opponent to kick a knight. Yeah. I'm not actually planning to do that. Just gonna develop a bit. If my bishop is attacked, I have a very safe square that I can fall all the way back to. Now my knight is kicked, and I just bring it back over here. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. My position is winning after queen d2. I have absolutely no idea what the computer's talking about. Show moves, huh? I can take that knight. Right. Why doesn't the king take the bishop? We're gonna ignore Stockfish. Stockfish is insane. I just noticed that defends the knight. Whoops. Whoops. Anyway, this gives away a free pawn. I don't... Yeah, okay, this gives away a free pawn. Probably that pawn. Yeah, that pawn. I should, move my rook, though, because... I ignored an opportunity to capture a free pawn and hang a rook. Yeah, thanks. See, this is why I don't... This is why we're done listening to the computer. That move would have counterattacked the queen, you idiot. So, queen moves out of the way. B5, I guess. Just, start barreling down the queen side since the queen's stuck in jail. Now I lose a pawn, and this misses an opportunity to threaten winning a bishop. Sure, okay. Targeting this pawn that's already under attack, probably a good plan. Now this loses a queen. What? What do you mean this loses a queen? What? Why did any of those moves happen? Okay, I don't know what that was. I just shuffled my bishop backwards because I guess I didn't know what else to do. Oh no, my pawn. This is also still leads to losing a queen, somehow. This is me trying to kick the bishop away. Bishop does get kicked away. I'm threatening to win material. Yeah. Yep, something like... Oh, right, that's... It's pointing my bishop over there. Yeah. Now if I give the bishop check, either the king has to move away, or queen takes and... That's not good for me. Never mind. This missed a really nice but hard to find move, which was... taking the defended pawn with the knight. Cool, great, yeah, good. Anyway, G3 is an inaccuracy. Bishop F2 check. Brilliant move! This is apparently a difficult move to see, even though I put my queen behind the bishop specifically to support that move. Yay, double exclamation points, though. That's the second time that's happened to me. King F1 is an inaccuracy. It loses a pawn somewhere. But, yeah, okay. Whatever, dude. Okay, right. Rook check. This is, unhinged. King G2 is a great move, because now that rook is defended instead of, simply dead. But, I allowed my opponent to capture the checking rook. That is because I thought this was a better trade for me than, oh. Where's the move? I didn't like this trade as much because the king is really safe in this corner. I mean, what do I do here even, you know? So, I moved here, forcing the rook to take that way, and then my bishop is protected from across the board, and just sitting here, you know... King H3 is a mistake for unbeknownst reasons to me, and I'm just trying to take away places that the king can go, because I think, you know, hey, I almost have literally checkmate. However, there's 13 more moves in this game, so I'm wrong about that. Knight C4. This attacks the queen. But what's worth more than a queen? This is an inaccuracy. Pawn's protected, so the king can't take it, but you can do that. I forgot about that, I think. Granted, now you're boxed in, you know. If I can do something like this, you know. To be fair, the computer says this is the only good move. So if my opponent has only one good move in the position, then I appreciate the fact that they have no other good moves. That's good. For me. Now I move the queen to safety, because, yeah, This overlooks a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. Queen g5 is apparently a missed win. I am threatening to force checkmate, but I missed an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. Okay. Alright. Threatening to win the game is less effective as a move than threatening to take a pawn. That's really nice. Anyway, this overlooks an opportunity to threaten winning a bishop. I mean, it looks like a fork. It looks like a brilliant knight move. That's not a brilliant knight move. I'm attacking the knight. I'm doing a lot of, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's only one legal move here. It does defend the knight, but, you know. Now, I probably should have noticed that this bishop is super under attack and just got it out of trouble, but, knight f4 check is a blunder because, oops, my bad. He takes the bishop anyway. This is a whole situation. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting that my knight is not invincible, and this time it actually was murdered. Actually got killed. Oh, I forgot to check the game classification at the top here. Wild. A wild game. Great. Anyway, that knight was free for the taking. This is the only move that works, and now we have quite a standoff. I figured that, you know, taking this pawn would lead to a queen trade, and then I'm simply down 6 points of material in an endgame, which, you know, is not good, but is better than the queen swinging across the board and killing me somehow. My man does not want a queen trade, however, and blocks the attack. So I attack the pinned knight, the knight being pinned to the queen. However, I permitted the opponent to reveal an attack on the knight, which doesn't happen at all. Now, clearly this bishop is attacking this rook, so I move the rook, and the bishop drops back to defend the knight, and that's pretty cool. So I just make a random pawn move because, well, now my bishop is connected to the queen, and if something, you know, like this were to happen, then I'd be very happy. One more square, actually. Not. I forgot he actually moved the knight. Yeah, I forgot he actually moved the knight. That would have won me the game. Instead, I win the game this way. Move the queen out of danger. Watch my opponent hang a queen instantly. Take the queen. And, this is defended by the knight. I literally forgot this bishop was in the corner. I thought that, the king was gonna move to h1, and then I was gonna take the other pawn, and that would be checkmate. But the king can't go to h1. You had a pretty competitive game there. Both you and your opponent missed some chances in the opening. You and your opponent both threw away some big opportunities in the middle game. 100-150. Thanks, chess.com. So, I mean, that's one way to end this. Brilliant move. Double exclamation point. What does Stockfish even want to happen here? Huh? What? What? And 0-0, and it's a draw?